Hezbollah is having a more difficult time rearming now than it did in the past. The reason it is having a more difficult time rearming is because Hezbollah's ally in Syria, Bashar al-Assad, is no longer in power. There's a new government in Syria, and it sees Hezbollah as its enemy. Another reason that Hezbollah is having a more difficult time rearming now than it did in the past is because Israel is determined to enforce the terms of the ceasefire deal from November. The Lebanese army is supposed to disarm Hezbollah and deploy in southern Lebanon in a manner sufficient to prevent Hezbollah from rearming. This has not happened yet. That's why Israel is continuing to act against Hezbollah in Lebanon. The ceasefire deal with Lebanon requires that Hezbollah disarm. Hezbollah has not disarmed. Hezbollah is violating the ceasefire deal at every moment that it remains armed. There was an underground tunnel that crossed from Syria into Lebanon. Hezbollah used this tunnel to smuggle weapons from Syria into Lebanon. The Israeli Air Force struck the tunnel so that it cannot be used to import more weapons. The Israeli Air Force also struck several Hezbollah sites containing munitions and rocket launchers that posed an imminent threat. The existence of these munitions and rocket launchers in the hands of a group other than the Lebanese government is a violation of the ceasefire deal. Hezbollah must disarm. Israel is not going to tolerate the existence of an Iranian proxy army on its border. We are not going back to an October 6th reality. Here's something that jumped out at me. Everyone is talking about the United States Agency for International Development, or USAID. I just saw that in November of 2024, USAID announced that it was providing $230 million in additional funding to support economic recovery and development programs in the West Bank and Gaza. Economic recovery and development programs in Gaza in November 2024. That was 3 months ago, while the Hamas government of Gaza was holding hostages and promising to carry out more October 7th massacres until Israel is destroyed. Gaza cannot be developed while its government says that Israel must be destroyed. Does anyone know what were the economic recovery and development programs that the Biden administration was funding in Gaza? If you know the answer, please let me know in the comments. I want to also draw your attention to a podcast episode that came out yesterday. It's a special podcast episode on the State of a Nation podcast with Eylon Levy. The reason that it's a special podcast episode is because I was the guest. It was my first time appearing on a video podcast. It's an hour-long conversation with me and Eylon Levy. We discuss all things Trump, Gaza, Palestinians, UNRWA, Qatar, South Africa, and much more. So I hope you'll go to the YouTube channel of State of a Nation podcast and check it out and let me know what you think.